Thank you to our symphonic band, directed by Mr. Vincent. Please remain standing as our senior vocalists, directed by Miss Waters, sing the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please remain standing. I saw it coming. Did you guys all set? Before moving on in our program, please take a moment of silence in memory of and out of respect for our loved ones who could not be here with us today. Thank you. Please take your seats. At this time, please welcome to the podium Superintendent of Northborough Southborough Schools, Superintendent Johnson.
Good afternoon, and welcome, class of 2019, on this, the 56th graduation ceremony of Algonquin Regional High School. I invite parents, family, administration, teachers, and in particular, two teachers that some of you may have had over the years, George Hansen and Ken Weeder. They are moving on to another career, I think, called retirement. After many years, we thank you and appreciate all you've done for our students and school district. To our staff and friends, to witness the awarding of the diplomas and the turning of the tassels in recognition of the accomplishments and achievements of each student seated before us. We gratefully acknowledge the dedication of the Northborough-Southborough Regional School Committee and Chairperson Lynn Winter, who is here with us today, and certainly our school communities of Northborough and Southborough. Collectively, we provide an opportunity for all students to pursue a pathway as unique as each individual member of this outstanding class of graduates. It is our sense of community and family spirit that has provided the solid foundation necessary for students to challenge themselves, to grow beyond their own expectations, and to prepare for a future during which they will embrace and pursue personal and professional endeavors. They'll persevere during times that challenge their fortitude and prosper as they continue their journey. As superintendent, it is and has been a privilege and an honor to stand before you and thank you for always being present. Together, we continue our tradition of excellence and instill in our students the confidence and capacity to achieve individual excellence. At the dawn of a new decade, and just about the time Algonquin became our regional school district, President John F. Kennedy inspired an entire nation to take up the challenge of going where no man had gone before. Not, he said, because it was easy, but because it was hard. We were entering a new age with technology that could take us places we may only have imagined visiting. We were propelled into believing any mission was possible. After several unsuccessful attempts, and just shy of about 50 years ago, 3 space pioneers, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins, took flight, and history was in the making. I, like so many of my fellow middle schoolers at that time, held makeshift telescopes pointed toward a brilliant summer night sky, just hoping to catch a glimpse of Apollo 11 as it circled the planet. This moment in time, captured on a black and white television for all to see, was spectacular and incomprehensible. There were only 3 television channels back then, all of which were in black and white, and of course, no Instagram or Facebook. Yet somehow we managed to feel the magic of it all, history in the making. As I look back on this now, I know that this moment in time gave us insight into our own mission, to pursue the impossible, to overcome failures, and to find inspiration by following the passion created in ourselves by the world around us, not always for our own personal gain, but for the good it can bring to others. This class has found its inspiration through hard work, through dedication, and purposeful mission of sometimes a single voice that reverberated throughout the halls in transformational ways. Like Operation Tomahawk, the dedication and commitment of one class member enlightened others by actions as he asked us to join together to never forget those who gave all and who asked for little. A classmate who turned our attention, and then others, of politicians and community members to the environment, ultimately passing legislation that would eliminate the use of toxic materials in our daily lives by just changing what we use when we buy or eat our food. And a group of students who came together and recognized that the written word is a fundamental form of communication, suggesting that a writing lab to develop better sentence structure and improve communications may be a counterbalance between IMs and smishing. Graduates, I encourage you to find that passion, to embrace the world around you and experience by living in the moment. Look up more often than down, and write your own mission. Today, or perhaps tomorrow, you too will reflect and realize that loved ones, perhaps here today, a teacher, a coach, or mentor, lit that spark within you. Captain Armstrong's words are familiar to many, and in some way, today you follow in his footsteps. You have taken 13 small steps, and now, as you receive your diploma, you are taking a giant leap in your lifetime. Members of the class of 2019, be proud of what you have achieved. Set new coordinates and get ready to launch. Congratulations and best wishes.
Thank you, Superintendent Johnson. Before continuing the program, I would like to recognize our distinguished student guests seated with us here on the stage. Students, please stand as your name is said. Class President, Matthew White. Class Vice President, Lauren Early. Class Secretary, Tyler Potter. Class Treasurer, Catherine Maffa. And our class essayist, Giancarlo Coelho. Please also recognize Superintendent Johnson and Assistant Superintendent Martineau. Our school committee member, Ms. Winter. Our two prestigious educators that have joined us in today's presentation, Ms. Fitzgerald and Mr. Alera. And your class officers, Ms. Arvanigian and Ms. Flynn. Thank you. Please welcome to the podium for his class president address, Mr. Matthew White.
I am deeply honored and thankful to be standing in front of faculty, family, friends, administrators, and of course, my fellow soon-to-be graduates. I will admit that when I was first approached for this speech, I had reservations. What qualifies me to be up here speaking to you on one of the most memorable days of your life? How do I offer advice for your future if I have yet to enjoy a long and successful one myself? Yet here I am. The truth is, anyone could stand up here and talk about Algonquin's top-flight math department and its broad range of English courses. But that's only a part of what we'll take from this high school experience. What I've found to be most important is what we've learned outside the classroom. Picture yourself in fifth period. It's routine. The bell rings, and you make that beeline to the usual table. You sit down next to your friend because you always sit together. But why? Trust me, I get it. It's really easy to stay at your table with that friend. But there's 400 other people in the cafeteria. Algonquin has taught me that it's worth it to get to know them. Algonquin has taught me to wait and take a closer look before placing a tag on someone. Because everyone, without exception, has a good side. All it takes is a small investment of time to learn someone's story. It only takes a few minutes of listening to open yourself up to a new perspective, or a small act of gratitude for you to bring out the best in someone. We all had that one teacher that saw the special ability in us. We all had the coach that noticed our skill, that one friend that appreciated our unique qualities. It's one of the greatest feelings in life when someone like that takes their time and energy to find the good side of you. I challenge you to do that for others. Approach, accept, and connect with people. Search for the good side, and if you can't find it, dig deeper, because it's there. Like Rafiki, the baboon, said in The Lion King, look harder. Look harder and you'll find the connection. And I promise that you'll meet, love, and learn from some extraordinary people along the way. You don't have to look very far to find the good side of the class of 2019. In my time at Algonquin, I've made friends with the musician, the athlete, the AP Science kid, and the DECA god, all of whom have taught me something new, and all of whom are exceptional people. I have no doubt that we'll use the math and the English, but what's most important is that we use the skills we learned and continue to accept, connect with, and bring happiness to others, all while keeping an open mind. Everyone has a good side, and it's our job to find it. Class of 2019, let's use what we learned and go change the world. Thank you, and congratulations.
Please welcome our two class musical performers, Matthew White and Liliko Uchida.
Test, test.
Testing.
Good. This one's for you guys. Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere.
And just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. A cigarette, a smoky room, the smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they could share the night. It goes on and on and on and on.
Strangers are waiting up and down the boulevard, their shadows searching in the night.
Street light people living just to find emotion.
Hiding somewhere in the night. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street lights, people. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street lights, people. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street lights, people.
So sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight.
Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you got us feeling all right.
Next, please join me in welcoming senior class essayist Giancarlo Coelho.
I'm fascinated with the word commencement. The word graduation tells us that we've completed our work to get our diploma, but commencement tells us that we're about to begin the rest of our lives. I don't know about you, but the beginning of the rest of our lives, that's a big deal. For some of us, that first step is continuing to college. For some of us, that is dedicating our time to military service. For some of us, that means entering directly into the workforce. And for some of us, the break of a gap year to try to figure it all out. None of these decisions are wrong. If we are living in the present, in the moment, then we are able to make the best decisions for our lives at that time. Here's what I do know. We are looking ahead, commencing whatever life has in store for us. That's what all the speakers and inspirational books and quotes tell us to do. But I say, we also need to look behind us at the people in the stands. They are the parents who guided us here with love and encouragement and money and even the occasional grounding on Saturday nights. They are the teachers who, with inspirational lessons, teaching us to learn from our failures, constant encouragement, and way too much homework, guided us to this point. They are the guidance counselors who gave us constant contact, presented solutions, direction, and life options. They are our friends. We all helped each other, criticized each other, whatever. All the good experiences in people, all the bad experiences in people brought us to this point. They are the support systems, the administration, the teachers' aides, and the coaches, the nurses and librarians, the custodians, and the cafeteria staff. They are the volunteers who helped us raise money for special events and who advised extracurricular activities. All of those unsung heroes who made our experience richer and more comfortable so that we could be sitting here. These are the people who want to see you succeed. So find them and thank them for everything they've done. And finally, thank yourselves for putting in the time, working hard, and reaching this point of accomplishment. We are all ready to graduate. Congratulations to us. But more importantly, and with a huge debt of gratitude to everyone I've mentioned today, we are ready to commence. At this time, please welcome to the podium our commencement speakers.
Miss Fitzgerald and Mr. Alera.
You guys hear us okay?
Hello, hello, it's me. Was that you or me?
That's you. That's not me.
Hello, class of 2019. I am honored to be here and share in this moment with you today.
Hey guys, nice to see you. I am so excited to be here.
Mr. Alera, I'm impressed. You dressed for the occasion.
I did. I even rented this suit.
And it looks nice, though it's no champion sweatshirt.
Well, sometimes change is good, even for me. But take a look at this class, will you, Miss Fitzgerald? They're all sitting there. They're all dressed up. They're paying attention. They're listening attentively. How come that never happens in class?
I don't know what you mean, Mr. Alera. I have always found this class to be kind, respectful, and responsible. Though there are a handful of you who still owe us some work.
And you know who you are. So if you can stick around after graduation, you can hand it in, promptly followed by a search for your parking sticker. Before we begin, you know, Miss Fitzgerald, we're so far away. You know, on those award shows like the Oscars or the Epsies, you know, they usually have two people together. Why don't we come together and do our speech?
I like it, it's a good idea, but I'll probably need a pass.
Well, I can write you a pass, but only if you sign out.
Wait, you want me to sign out and have a pass, even on graduation day?
Those are the rules. Don't even ask me what you have to do to go to the bathroom.
Well, I think I'll just stay put and offer some words of advice from here.
Nice idea. Go for it.
Class of 2019. What I value greatly in life is the ability to make connections and learn people's stories. The more I learn about people, the more I learn about who they are, what they've been through, what they aspire to, the more I can relate to them. And even if people have very different perspectives on politics or religion, listening to another person's story allows us to see the commonalities that unite us. When I think about my job as a teacher and what joy that has brought to me in my life, I think of the moments we share and the moments and the stories that you tell me. Those moments where I'm catching up with students that I haven't seen for a while, finding out what's going on in their lives. The moments inside the classroom where you are willing to take a chance and say something that you think your peers may not agree with. After class, when a conversation continues because there is more to say, there is more to share. After school, when you're waiting to go to your next club or sport, or waiting to head off to your job and you just have a little time to kill and you need someone to talk to. I'm happy that I was able to be that person and gain insight into who you are. I was happy to hear your story. And I think that maybe one of the greatest gifts I can offer you is to tell you how much these stories mean to me and to encourage you to continue to be open, kind, and brave, and to recognize the connections you make and can make with the world around you. And what I'm saying here isn't anything new. It's just the unifying features of humanity in that we do have far more in common than not. We all have dreams and we all struggle. So I wish for you an openness of heart, that you will not make prejudgments about who others are because they also have stories. And even if someone disparages you, even if someone treats you unkindly, that doesn't mean that you need to have your walls up completely to ignore them or to push that person or people like those persons out of your lives, but instead to know that as long as you are open to growing and evolving, comfortably and vulnerably sharing who you are, then there's nowhere to go but up from there. Poet Clint Smith writes that the universe is telling us that we can never get too far from the place that created us, how there is always a streak of our past trailing closely behind us like a smattering of obstinate memories, that we bring a part of where we are from to every place we go. So, class of 2019, be proud of who you are becoming, be proud of your story, and be open to the stories of others.
Thank you, Ms. Fitzgerald. Okay, I got to get serious here. All right, as I look at you all, I am amazed at how different all of you are. Yet all of you are connected for what you have done and what you have achieved. Who you are and your one voice have come together with other voices symbolically and created one voice. Just think about that. And take a look at each other. 368 of you. But at this moment in time, you are one voice, here for one reason, one objective. And that is to complete a monumental part of your life and move on to the next. And as you move on to the next chapter of your life, I want you to remember and think about that voice that you have. You know, I'm a great believer in one voice. That individual who can make a difference, with the power of thoughts, words, and education. That individual who gives us direction, and most importantly, leadership. As English teachers, we always talk about voice in writing, and really it's the same thing. When you write, it's just how you formulate your ideas and your thoughts, what you have to say, and how you say it. And in life, using your voice means just the same. Using your thoughts and ideas to make change, saying what you have to say to make a difference, to voice what is right and what you believe in. And not to be afraid to step in when you think something is not right and it must be better. And you can do that. You can be a leader. You must do it because your voice can make change. You know, we live in a tumultuous world here where things are changing rapidly, and change and events are frightening. But don't you ever settle, and don't you just exist. Your voice and what you can do can be a huge difference. While you were here at Algonquin, every day I was inspired by you. Your thoughtfulness, your fresh eyes on the world, your ability to think beyond yourselves, those moments you hang and talk and share with me, your voice, your one true voice, will inspire others as you has inspired me. So, don't be distracted by outside influences. Take the headphones off. Put your phones away. Lift your head from the screen. Stop sitting in front of a box that frames your opinions and connect with each other. Look at each other in the eyes and be part of life and use your voice. Think of those moments you shared with me and realize how much you have changed me. I know when I was in high school, a mere 8 years ago, I was not very good at using my voice. And I was not good at saying what I wanted to say. But I've gotten better. I still need to work on it, but I keep trying. So before I go, there is a phenomenal piece of work that I always refer to whenever I am in need of some words of wisdom to help me out. It's changed my life, and it taught me to use my voice. So let me share a little bit of it. Everyone is special in their own way. We make each other strong. We're not the same. We're different in a good way. Together is where we belong. Once we know we're all in this together, once we know that we're all stars, and we see that we're all in this together. Hatton and Annalise, I could use you now. And it shows when we stand hand in hand to make our dreams come true. Together, everyone. Well, it's time for us to get out of here. I have an 8-week training program to work on, and you need to graduate.
But before we leave, we just want to say,
thank you.
For becoming a part of our lives. Continue to be kind and inviting.
And I'll see you around like a donut.
Congratulations, class of 2019.
At this time, please welcome to the podium our principal, Dr. Walsh.
Thank you, Catherine. Before I begin, I promise to be brief, but I would be amiss if I didn't take the time to practice the message of my speech and to thank our families for sharing their most precious gifts with us every day, our truly dedicated Superintendent, Ms. Johnson, and Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Martineau, our school committee members, all of our amazing educators and support staff, our central office staff, our dignitaries, and both Northborough and Southborough communities for their unwavering support of our children. I'd also like to thank Ms. Capalbo, as well as all of our administrative assistants and our custodial team for making this day possible. Thank you to all of our administrative team and athletic director for always putting students and faculty first. And congratulations to our class officers for leading a wonderful class to the finish line. Thank you. At this time, if we could please recognize our graduates who are going on into the military, our veterans, and our active members of service, to please stand and provide them a round of applause for all that they do for us. Thank you for keeping us safe, happy, and well. Now on to the speech. I have witnessed kindness from the class of 2019 in hopeful and exciting amounts. Kindness in how you hold the door for each other, to support each other, and help each other out during difficult times. You cheer each other on through a cheer tunnel to start your 9th grade year, and you cheer each other on to foster inclusivity at every level. I have seen you create moments and platforms of kindness and greatness by pushing adult thinking and the norms, by standing next to each other to share your talents and support individuality. For better or for worse, the class of 2019 is as thick as thieves. I'd like to say it's for better, as you've created a network that fosters kindness. In a world in need of so much kindness, at such critical times, there appears to be a lack of kindness beyond our T-Hawk walls. As my daughter from a kindergarten lesson explained to me this year, it's like a crinkle in the paper when we are in need of no crinkles. She painted a picture that every time someone says something mean-spirited, does something mean-spirited, or doesn't act to support one another, there is a crinkle in that paper. And although with time and support, the crinkles are flattened out, there is always a mark left in the paper. As U.S. Ambassador Harry Thompson Jr. at this year's Metro West Community Prayer Breakfast stated, we are a family in the global village, and we must take care of our village. Beyond these words, we must take care of our nation, our T-Hawk nation. We must model and foster love, kindness, and inclusivity. And as Shackleton would say, difficulties are just things to overcome after all. And as we can all attest to, high school can be difficult and trying. But it is what we do with these difficult moments that define our true character and drive to foster this kindness. How do we prevent these crinkles and smooth out the lines left behind on a world so in need of kindness? Some of us race through our high school experience to get to the finish line, to get the grades, to get the classes, the wins, the accomplishments, but miss the importance of the journey. Not for us, Algonquin, not the class of 2019. You have taken the time and modeled the kindness and the need to uncrinkle the paper and to help flatten it out. I recently listened to the Massachusetts Secretary, Rosalind Acosta, address local business leaders at our Quarter 9 Scholarship Breakfast, where she referred to a Japanese business philosophy of continuous improvement of working practices and personal growth, known as Kaizen. So, here we are, T-Hawk Nation, in this pivotal moment where we can take our village of kindness, inclusivity, and love and share it globally. In some great graduation advice once given to me, and just great advice to be shared, we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. So I remind you, as all of you go off and create the much-needed disruptions that cause reflection and inclusivity and kindness, to remember it is always better to give. Give kindness, give happiness, give peace. I wish you all kindness, happiness, and peace as you fulfill your Kaizen. Congratulations, class of 2019. At this time, I would like to present our graduates for certification of the candidates. To Superintendent Johnson, as the principal of Algonquin Regional High School, I certify that these seniors, class of 2019, have met all of the graduation requirements set forth by the Northborough-Southborough Regional School District and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Therefore, it gives me a great honor to present to you the class of 2019. Please welcome both class advisors, Ms. Arvanigian and Ms. Flynn, to present the 2019 candidates receiving their diplomas.
Hello. Matthew Maurice White. Lauren Sheree Early. Tyler Evelyn Potter. Catherine Lorraine Moffa. Giancarlo Antonio Coelho.
Sophie Cassidy Lawrence.
Sabrina Elizabeth Abbott.
Catherine Anna Lawless.
Reem Mohammed Aboushale.
Connor James Lawless.
Gabriella Catherine Alberghini.
Haley Lynn LeBeau.
Rachel Ellen Alberti.
Catherine Joyce Lee.
Esma Ali.
Matthew Eric LaFay.
Ian Alexander Anderson.
Tyler Matthew Leland.
Larissa Moulin Andradia.
Alex Christopher Lemieux.
Margaret Grace Andrews.
Cassandra Lynn Levin.
Jane Sophia Antino.
Jessica Phoebe Lee.
Cecilia Marie Arcona.
Jacob Benjamin Libby.
Mia Rose Arvanigian.
Hannah Marie Little.
Dua Ashfaq.
Katrina Leanne Liu.
Luke Michael Aspero.
Megan Suhu Lawful.
Grace Marie Oswald.
Annalise Grace Loiseau.
Nareli Nichelle Baez.
Derek Michael Long.
Amir Bagheri.
Haley Ann Lowe.
John Joseph Bai.
Emma Rose Luiso.
Kazanath Pasupahi Balugala.
Margaret Ann Lyseth.
Dashley Deemley Baptiste.
Anna Rose McDonald.
Haley Marie Bartolini.
Matthew Richard Madamba.
Leah Catherine Barker.
James Edward Mahoney.
Mia Catherine Barletta.
Nate Maloney.
Paige Ann Bastieri.
Harrison Kolhara Marble.
Kate Abigail Beeland.
Sierra Brooke Washon.
Matthew Thomas Beeland.
Christopher Hillard Martin.
Kaylin Elizabeth Blair.
Anthony Michael Masaglia.
Erin Marie Blake.
Yasmin Masudi.
Lillian Rose Blatchley.
Alyssa Josephine Mawson.
Andrew Louis Bonadaldo. Sorry.
Tessa Sophie McAndrews. It's up all the way up.
Natalie Botros.
Mia Catherine McAuliffe.
Jessica Bumajana.
Tara Rose McGillicuddy.
Natalie Marie Bork.
Pierce Bruin McGrath.
Harrison Thomas Boyden.
Allison Catherine McGuire.
Taylor Collins Bragg.
Lila Rita McManus.
Alan Martin Bramhill.
Gavin Everett McRae.
Carter Christopher Brannon.
Joseph Daniel Malisi.
Jack Edward Albert Branson.
Annalise Diamond Maryhue.
Danielle Marie Brazu.
Chloe Elizabeth Meyer.
Nicholas Andrew Briggs.
Mario Ahmad McHale.
Luke James Brogna.
Stephen Anthony Maffa.
Julia Noel Bruce.
James Michael Mooney.
Rianne Vivian Boo.
Jonathan Christopher Moses.
Jacob Michael Bury.
Jacqueline Kristen Moy.
Jack Theodore Butler.
Justin Christopher Moyer.
Rory Lawrence Daniel Caffrey.
Matthew Michael Mashushian.
Mateo Joseph Calvanese.
Samuel Anthony Morse.
Gerald Daniel Capra. Excuse me.
John David Muirhead.
Nicholas Massimo John Caracciolo.
Rihanna Citra McCurgy.
Ricardo Roberto Carreras.
Brady Nicole Mullen.
Laura Sohei Carroll.
David Thomas Mulligan.
Julia Therese Casapula.
Armand Munsif.
Johanna Marie Casey.
Ryan Edward Murphy.
John Thomas Cashel III.
Sean Michael Murphy.
Raymond John Sarro, Jr.
Zoe Lynn Murphy.
Abigail Holly Chan.
Anna Mia Kushina.
Elaine Kristen Cho.
Noah Anthony Myers.
Nicole Marie Clark.
Celia Rose Nealon.
Anna Isabel Clune.
Cameron Clark Needles.
Owen Robert Coderre.
Sean Anthony Noosh.
Gabriela Rodriguez Cola.
Natalie Wingyang Ing.
Elijah Henry Cohen Gordon.
Annie Yuen.
Catherine May Colglazer.
Aaron Aslan Nudushani.
Cicely Anna Rose Coppolino.
Cameron Araya Nudushani.
Faith Caroline Coppolino, excuse me. Cosentino, excuse me.
Montazrir Zovu.
Catherine Maeve Cotillo.
Casey Jacob O'Brien Rice.
Zachary Thomas Cotter.
Blake Hunter Joseph Pacific.
Kevin Patrick Coop.
Kian Parshakani.
Michaela Patricia Coyne.
Madison Euben Pazareski.
Samuel Riley Crane.
Shayna Pelham.
Joseph Michael Crowley.
Brian Scott Pemberton.
Sean Thomas Cullen.
Gabriella Gwyneth Prometeo.
Lily Joy Daniel.
Maxwell Charles Petrie.
Claude Matthew Davis.
Emily Margaret Philbrook.
Kyle Baxter Davis.
Logan David Picard.
Abigail Rose Davison.
Curtis Joseph Pietropalo.
Sarah Galveo Diaz D. Carvalho.
Juliana Rose Pike.
Hannah Michelle Debrusky.
Benjamin Schofield Poon.
Ryan Michael Decker.
David Anthony Paretsky.
Margaret Catherine Del Rey.
Zachary Matthew Provincial.
Cameron Paul DeLewis.
Alicia Luau Quinn.
Zoe Elizabeth Devine.
Bella Lua Quinn.
Ezra Putra Dharma.
Carter Alexandra Rostron.
Emily Page Diaz.
Elsa Merrill Ray.
Charlotte Sarah DiGiovanni.
Nicholas Robert Redden.
Angela Victoria DeMauro.
Kevin Joseph Reddington.
Burke O'Leary Dion.
Jared Paul Reed.
Morgan Page Dion.
Olivia Rose Riley.
William John Donahue.
Tess Olivia Reyes.
Molly Judith Dowd.
Caitlin Duffy Reynolds.
Sophia Marie Dulberg.
Nathan Ridley Rind.
Brian Dominic Duffy.
Philippe Jr. Ribeiro.
Abigail Patricia Dugan.
Elizabeth Julia Rice.
Laura Elizabeth Dunderdale.
Matthew Scott Richardson.
Jennifer Marie Dunlap.
Ryan David Reisdorf.
Anna Rebecca Edgren.
Bryce Jaden Robinson.
Julie May Edson.
Sydney Alice Rosenthal.
Juliana Felice Ellsworth.
Grace Elizabeth Rousseau.
Zachary Chase Entwistle.
Vanessa Marie Roy.
Meredith Walsh Eppen.
Alyssa Rose Rubin.
Rian Oliver Farhart.
Dominic John Rousseau.
Andrew Michael Federici.
Alexander James Rybarczyk.
Emma Rose Fellenbaum.
Jacob Cameron Sachs.
Taylor Jean Fenerty.
Natalie Samir Sadek.
Catherine Hamill Forensic.
Maya Page Villars Sigarin.
Caitlin Marie Fernald.
Madison Beverly Sampson.
Mark William Finnegan.
Camille Este Sancomonte.
Jessica Rose Fodor.
Cherise Sharang, Cherise Sang.
Samuel David Forbush.
William James Harassen.
Kiara Upton Ford.
Sharika Satish Kumar.
Alexander Forrest.
Sophie May Scarborough.
Riley Michael Garand.
Lillian Maria Schaefer.
Shay Thomas Garand.
Fiona Claire Schraft.
Emily Marie Jenga.
Hugh James Schultz III.
Claire Ellen Jarolskis.
Carlin Grace Swingback.
Dominic Michael Gianento.
Evan Hayward Scott.
Nicholas Graham Gingrich.
Lauren Elizabeth Seavey.
Nicholas David Gerleo.
Michaela Rose Selig.
Jason William Gogan.
Marcus Philippe Severo.
Jenna Lynn Golden.
Mitchell David Schaefer.
Joseph Allen Gordon.
Akshaya Sathya.
Elissa Nicole Gorman.
Emily Mayo Shaw.
William Thomas Goss.
Amit Shamir.
Leah Grace Grimbaltis.
Jade Ann Shamaligan.
Lydia Grist Manrique.
Wanji Shen.
Yuyang Gu.
Haley Lauren Shore.
Julia Beatrice Catherine Guay.
Anna Carolina de Oliveira Diaz Silva.
Ariana Hagigi.
Milenia Gumara Silveria.
Jillian April Hamblin.
Tammy Suzette Severio.
Adam Belliot Hamling.
Alexander Jacob Simon.
Zachary David Hannon.
Rebecca Noel Snow.
Thomas Benjamin Hardy.
Peter Olurutimi Sobayejo.
Joshua Adam Harmon.
James Singh Song.
Leanne Marie Hart.
Michael Thomas Spataro.
Colin Hannigan Hartnett.
Gianna Lynn Spinelli.
Jake Armanti Hathaway.
Louis Evans Tamulis.
Nicholas Mark Hatton.
Jackson Beaumont Stanwood.
Marissa Lynn Helms.
Thomas John Stimson.
Brendan Patrick Hermanspan.
Caitlin Marie Sullivan.
Aiden Robert Hill.
Jody Shayna Sunray.
Jack McCourt Hill.
Molly Doris Sunray.
Garrett John Hodgkins.
Sarah Grace Swartout.
Amy Marie Holland.
Jonathan Martin Simmons.
Sydney Nicole Holmes.
Maria Sarah Tand.
Justin Tyler Houlihan.
Lauren Elise Teresiano.
Zachary Cole Hoffman.
Isaac Joseph Thoralt.
Anna Lucia Hodgkins.
Emily Grace Thornton.
Julia Marilyn Hostage.
Abigail Christiana Thorup.
Julie Emma Howard.
John Joseph Tobin III.
Jason Bernard Howe.
Saram Toletti.
Shane Corbett Hudson.
Alexander Dang Trevino.
Abigail Jane Hurley.
Salim Alahan Turkson.
Regan Elizabeth Hurley.
Michael Patrick Turner.
Mariam Ibrahimi.
Liliko Alicia Lucida.
Veronica Jaster.
Matthew McManus Humphrey.
Samantha Lois Jennings.
Gina Marie Valley.
James George Jessup.
Brom Thomas Van Antwerp.
Brigham James Johnson.
Nicholas Ruslan Vasquez.
William Michael Johnston.
Benjamin Cole Veroman.
Gabrielle Edith Jordan.
Sophia Rose Walker.
Christian Alexander Jorgensen.
Jeffrey Clark Wallace.
Priyanka Rajendra Joshi.
Christopher Tianza Wang.
Stephanie Elizabeth Kalinowski.
Claire Ann Waterman.
Michaela Rose Kane.
Benjamin Paul Weber.
Megan Mary Kelleher.
Jennifer Suzanne White.
Zaid Khan.
Jonah Francis Witt.
Jenna Kareem.
Denithi Nathmini Wijarathma.
Digraj Singh Corona.
Sarah Catherine Roulette.
Darby Kim.
Kaylin James Wilworth.
Nolan Brady Kimball.
Madeline Teresa Weiser.
Sarah Elizabeth Kingsley.
Anne-Marie Leeming Wood.
Jeannie Faye Kirk.
Marissa Brooks Wood.
Connor Padrick Klein.
Alyssa Harriet Worcester.
Ryan Thomas Kraft.
Josephine Lisbeth Weibel.
Joshua David Kress.
Maxwell Sue.
Brett Thomas Cush.
Anthony Alexander Zalov.
Carolyn Francis Lambert.
Nellie Zhang. Andrew James Zhao.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have one final graduate this evening of equal prestige and caliber, our Superintendent, Christine Johnson. Superintendent Johnson, could you please come up and receive your diploma and a small token of our appreciation from the class of 2019?
At this time, I'm asking for all of our guests to remain seated as we do our formal turning of the tassels and closing remarks, as well as our formal recession. Please welcome our class president and vice president to the podium.
Class of 2019, please rise. We will now turn the tassels.
From right to left on three. One,
One,
two,
two,
three.
three.
Thank you to our class officers for 2019. It is with this great honor that I present to you with the turning of the tassels, the alumni class of 2019 of the Northborough-Southborough Regional School District. I would like to thank all of our guests for coming. Please, guests, remain seated to provide a safe area for our class of 2019 alumni to recess out of graduation as we honor this great event. Thank you.
Avi?